In the last talk, we were discussing about Sati mindfulness. So we mentioned that mindfulness in the context of Vipassana meditation is this awareness that remembers to bring clearly into the mind the presently occurring object. Mm. Once it has brought the object into the mind, it serves as the non-forgetful awareness that never forgets the object. It holds the object in the mind. It never abandons the object, never give it up, and get drawn into other distraction. So its attention is always on its object. So today we'll continue with the discussion on mindfulness. Mm. So besides being the non-forgetful awareness that draws the object, the present object into the mind. Okay? So mindfulness is also uh, a wholesome, pure awareness. Okay? So, mm, yeah, often we talk about mindfulness as awareness, okay? But awareness can be both wholesome as well as unwholesome. Mm. So unwholesome awareness are those awareness that are tainted by the mental defilements, such as greed, hatred, and delusion. For example, you're doing walking meditation outside, and you reach the end of the path, and then you lose your mindfulness. You look up, and you see all such beautiful scenery, and your mind starts to delight uh, in the beauty of the scenery. Now, so at that time, the mind is aware of the scenery, but that awareness is tainted by lopa because of the delighting in the beautiful scenery. Okay? Another example is when pain arises. So, so some yogis, when they note pain, so they don't note properly with mindfulness. So as a note, and they're aware of the pain, but notice that the mind becoming more and more uh, angry with the pain. More and more dislike, aversion arise. So there's awareness of the pain, but that awareness is tainted by dosa. So such type of awareness tainted by greed, hatred, delusion. These are called unwholesome awareness. Mm. So this is not mindfulness. Okay? So in our practice, it is not the type of awareness that we want to develop. Mm. This type of unwholesome awareness, you can call it michasati, wrong mindfulness. Mm. So what we want to develop in our practice is sammasati, okay? Right mindfulness of the Noble Eightfold Path. Okay? And right mindfulness is this pure, wholesome awareness that is untainted by greed, hatred, delusion, uh, and so on. So it is free from any disturbances that may arise due to being associated with any mental defilements like likes and dislikes. Mm. Yeah. So it's also freed from any obsession or dejection with regards to the object. Okay? So because of this, it's able to view the object with steady equanimity, with detachment. Okay? And as a result of this, mind is capable of discerning the object with clarity as it is. Okay? Mm, mm. And so this is a reason why we need to develop mindfulness in our practice, uh, in order to develop insight uh, into nature of anicca, dukkha, anatta. The mind need to be able to discern clearly. uh, You must have this clarity to discern clearly as it is. Okay? Mm. So mindfulness, uh, because of its nature, being a wholesome awareness, freed from any defilements, freed from any disturbances, obsession or dejection arising from these defilements, is able to become equanimous towards the object, detached from the object, and simply observe it clearly as it is. So we need this mindfulness in order to develop insight. Because mindfulness is a wholesome, pure awareness. Mm. So whenever it's present in the mind is undisturbed by any of these mental defilements. Mm, so when the mind is not disturbed at all, it becomes peaceful. Okay? So it's not agitated, it's not disturbed. It's calm, peaceful, uh, composed, not excited. It's cool and relaxed. Okay? Mm. So this calm, peaceful composure of the mind uh, is an indication of the presence of mindfulness. Okay? Mm. So, so you can check for yourself during your practice whether your noting mind uh, has this quality, calm, peaceful composure. Okay? Mm. Uh, So it's your noting mind. Every moment when you're not rising, when you're not falling, when you're not sitting, when you're not touching, is that noting mind? Is it peaceful, relaxed, composed, uh, or is it disturbed, agitated, unsettled? uh, mm. So you can check for yourself. So you find the noting mind is disturbed, is agitated, is tense, unsettled. This is an indication that there's no mindfulness present. Okay? Mm. Mm. So, so this quality, calm, peaceful, composure, is not just a quality that comes with mindfulness. It's a quality of the wholesome mind itself. Okay? And mindfulness is a wholesome state of mind. So therefore, it comes together with this quality, calm, peaceful, composure. So it's actually a quality of the wholesome mind itself. Okay? Mm. So therefore, whenever you perform any wholesome action, any kusala karma, so if you are really doing it properly, okay, uh, so whether it's an act of dana or sila, or even when you're like sharing merits or rejoicing in the merits uh, done by others, going for refuge, even just volunteering your service here in the center, whatever wholesome act that you do, if you do it properly, at that time in your mind, there is this mental quality, peaceful composure. Right? Mm. So this is one of the quality of mindfulness, as well as the quality of the wholesome mind. Okay? So you can check for yourself whether the mind has this quality or not. Okay? Mm. Due to the purity of mindfulness, so the mind also becomes soft, uh, flexible, and adaptable. Okay? It's not hard, not rigid, inflexible. Okay? So he's able, he's soft, he's able to adapt to each object that arises moment to moment. Okay? So rising occur in the moment, the mind is able to adapt to the noting of the rising. Okay? Next, when falling occur, and is able to adapt to the noting of the falling. Okay? Uh, then the pain arise, is able to adapt to the noting of the pain. Okay? If noise arise, very loud noise, again is able to adapt to it. Okay? Mm. So, because the mind is flexible, it's soft, and it's adaptable. Okay? Not hard, not rigid. Okay? Mm. There's some yogis who cannot adapt uh, to difficult objects that arise during the training. Okay? Mm. So when the object is pleasant and nice, yes, they can note, no problem. They can note continuously. They're very happy. They even enjoy the practice. At the moment, uh, pain arise, loud noise arise, or the weather becomes very, very hot, then they cannot adapt. Hmm? They get angry or they lose their composure, lose their patience. So, and that's the end of the mindfulness. Okay? Mm. So, as we practice throughout the day, yeah, um, the external, both the external and internal conditions uh, are continuously changing. Okay? Mm. So in the morning, it'll be very cold. Yeah? Then slowly, as you come to lunchtime, starting to get hotter and hotter. And afternoon, it becomes very, very hot. And then when it comes near the evening, it starts to cool down again. uh, mm. So, so conditions are changing. uh, and in the morning before breakfast, you may feel hungry, but your body is light. Mm, And after breakfast, uh, you, you have a full meal, so you feel satisfied. But then the body may feel heavier, right? Mm. So, you may be uh, energetic in some parts of the day, and tired in other parts of the day, depending on what type of person you are. Okay? If you are a morning person, morning you're very energetic. Okay? Come evening time, you're completely worn out, tired. mm. Uh, but if you're one of those they call night owl, mm, so morning you're very very tired, sleepy, but then come night time you're very very alert, very energetic. Mm. Mm. So and sometimes as your mind is energetic, but your body is tired. Or sometimes the mind is tired, but the body is energetic. Okay? Sometimes both the body and mind are energetic. Sometimes both are also tired. Okay? It changes all the time. Mm. Objects also. Sometimes become very subtle. Sometimes become very gross. Sometimes pleasant, sometimes unpleasant. Yeah. So both internal and external conditions are changing, continuously changing. Yeah. So, so if you have a very well developed mindfulness, then your mind will be able to adapt to any situation, any condition that arise. Okay. And then your practice will be consistent, persistent. Okay. So you're able to develop the practice continuously. Okay. But if you are not flexible, not adaptable, so you cannot adapt uh, effectively when the condition change. Okay. Then your practice will not be continuous. Okay. So and then you cannot develop the practice continuously. Progress will be slow. Right? So some yogis, their mind is hard and rigid, uh, in the sense that they hold, given the instruction, they hold very rigidly to the instruction given. So, for example, when given the instruction to not rising, falling, so they just hold on rigidly to the instruction. So in the practice, they just continue, rising, falling, okay? Mm. And nothing else but rising, falling. Okay, means just keep watching abdomen go up, go down, up, down, and that's all. Sometimes you see the form and shape of the abdomen. The abdomen is round, is flat, it moves like a wave, and so on. Okay. Mm. So, but nothing more than that. So, mm, so sometimes encounter yogis who have been practicing for many years. I ask them to report rising, falling. All they can say is just up and down, okay? Because they don't watch more than that. You ask them why, is the instructions say just to watch rising, falling. So they hold on to it, even though as they are watching rising, falling, they're actually experiencing many other things, like the sensation connected with the rising, falling, and the tightness, pressure, pushing. So, but because they say the instruction is to not rising, falling, so they ignore all that. Okay? Mm, yeah. So we must not be rigid with the instruction. Okay? So even though, yes, we do instruct you to not rising, falling, but we also often again and again say, must note as it is, not the object, as it is. Okay? So to note as it is means the mind must be completely open uh, to the experience of the object, okay? And watch it, whatever appear, okay, uh, as it is. Okay, so don't confine yourself to just one thing. Don't have any preconceived idea that it must only be up and down, up and down. Okay? Sometimes the yogis is up and down, they're okay. Then suddenly the rising, falling become like moving from left to right. And then they do not know what to do. They say, how come it's not up and down? Hmm? Hold on rigidly to the instruction. Okay. Mm. So whenever you know, mm, so the mind must be completely open. See things as they are, whatever is there. Okay. Mm. So so if you watch the rising, falling, as you watch it, and go up, down, rising, falling, uh, and then you start to listen clearly. There's all this sensation uh, connected with the rising, falling, tightness, the stiffness, the pressure, and so on. And then you must note those also. Okay? Mhm. Whatever appear in to the noting mind, as you're noting, taking note. What do you notice? Notice as it is, as it appear to the mind. Don't have any idea it must be like this, it must be like that. Okay? So don't hold on rigidly. uh, Even though the instructions say rising, falling, don't hold on rigidly to the idea of just rising and falling. Okay? Must be completely open to the experience. Mhm. So that's why we often uh, give instruction to the yogis to observe carefully the sensation is present with each object. Okay? In order for the yogi not to get stuck in the concept of the form and shape of the object. Okay? Mm. Now, some yogis, after trying very hard, they are able to discern the sensation clearly. Okay? Mm. But then again, due to the hard and rigid mind, now they get stuck with this sensation. Mm. So, mm, yeah, so when they get stuck in this sensation, that means every time they observe the object, uh, they know what to look for. So they just go to that to the sensation. So in their interview, they're reporting, they just report on this sensation. So for example, noting uh, when reporting about rising, falling, they report sometimes there's this pushing, sometimes there's tightness, sometimes there's looseness. Mm. So there's this nature and that nature, this sensation, that sensation. Okay? Mm. And that's all. Okay? Mm. Nothing beyond that. Mm. So they don't report anything about the changes in the sensation. Because again, they hold on rigidly to the instruction. Huh? Just watch the sensation. Okay, just watch sensation, just sensation. Okay, so they don't watch the process of the continuous change in this sensation. Because the sensation, you're not static. Okay? Hmm. If you observe the sensation hmm, carefully and continuously, huh? uh, so moment to moment to moment, you observe it carefully. Yeah? You can discern change in this sensation. They are not static. Moment to moment to moment, they are changing. And sensation, sometimes it increase in intensity, sometimes it decrease, sometimes it disappear, then another one arise, appear, and that also change, and then eventually also disappear, then another one, and another one, and another one. So, so they are in a process of change. Huh? Mm. So, uh, so you make effort to observe carefully and continuously, huh? Without any preconceived idea that only sensation. Okay? Ignore whatever change. Okay? You observe carefully with an open mind. Then the process of change of the sensation will also appear clearly. Okay? You can see it. Hold your attention on this process of change continuously, and gradually you'll be able to discern more and more clearly how each and every sensation that arise and disappear. Okay? So they constantly arise, disappear, arise, disappear, arise, disappear. Huh? Never ending. Okay? Mm. So when you can watch this process of change, of arising and disappearing clearly and continuously, then gradually again, you will also be able to discern the nature of impermanent suffering and non-self. Okay? So the object itself is not static. Okay? So the mind must not be hard and rigid and have any preconceived idea of what the object is supposed to be, how it is supposed to be. Mm. So, see, unlike samatha meditation, where the object is quite fixed, vipassana object, it actually changes as your practice progresses. It actually changes. Mm. In the beginning, you may start with just, actually, you begin with concept. Where you're not rising, falling, up and down, the form and shape of the abdomen, all these are concepts. So the manner of his movement, it moves fast, it moves slow. it goes to the right, it goes to the left. All these are concept of direction. Okay? So actually, you begin with concept. Okay? Uh, But as you continuously note this concept uh, carefully, continuously, energetically, as the mindfulness and concentration develops, and gradually you begin to discern uh, the nature behind this concept, the mental physical nature behind this concept of rising, falling. So it became a physical nature. Right? So the wind element is nature. This tightness, stiffness, tension, pushing, expansion, contraction. uh, mm, so that begins to come clear to the mind. Okay, this is physical nature. Okay, it's there all the time. But when the mind is not clear, you cannot see beyond the concept to discern this nature. Okay, when you developing the mindfulness, keep noting as the mind becomes clearer and clearer with the development of mindfulness and concentration. Now you begin to discern its physical nature clearly. Okay? And as you continue to note this, as the mind gets clearer still, then even the mental nature uh, can be discerned clearly. You notice that every time you note uh, you're not diagnosed, you may notice there is a noting mind, okay? Noting the tightness. There's tightness and a noting of the tightness. Another tightness, another noting of the tightness. Okay? Sometimes you notice the knowing mind, the mind knowing. Okay? There's pushing, knowing of the pushing. Another pushing, another knowing of the pushing, and so on. Mm, mm. So, so the mental physical nature appear clearly to the mind. Mm, mm, mm. And as you keep discerning, noting its mental physical nature continuously, as we said just now, then you begin to see a change in this mental physical nature. Uh, so as the change becomes clearer and clearer, and sharper and sharper, at some point you begin to discern clearly. Yeah, each and every mental physical nature arising and disappearing clearly, moment to moment to moment. Okay? Mm. And then gradually arrive at the nature of impermanent suffering non-self. Okay? Mm. Yeah. So all this can only be discerned if you don't hold on rigidly uh, to a certain idea about what you should know, how you should know, how the object should be. So the mind must be flexible uh, and adaptable to whatever arises. Don't hold rigidly to some idea how the object is supposed to be, how things are supposed to be. Mm. This quality of softness, flexibility, adaptability also allows yogi to adapt to the meditation instruction given by the teacher. So, so as you start to make progress in your practice, or as you face difficulty in your practice, so when you go for an interview and you report your experience, and then the teacher will give you new instruction uh, to help you either to progress further uh, or to overcome your difficulty. Mm. But if your mind is hard and rigid and resistant, you cannot adapt to the instruction. You cannot let go of old habits. So when given instruction, new instruction, then you resist the instruction. You say, "Oh, Bante, very difficult. I cannot do this." Okay. Some will say, "I practiced like this for so long, so I cannot change." Mm. So this is uh, the nature of a hard and rigid mind. Your mind is soft, adaptable, flexible. You can take on any new instruction and put it into practice. Yeah? In fact, your mind will be very eager to carry out the new instruction. Mm. The quality of softness also means the ability of the noting mind to able to flow along with the streams of the objects easily. Okay? So vipassana meditation, the object is like a stream of objects, not a single object, but a stream of objects. Okay? One after another in a stream. Okay? Mm. So, so a mind that is flexible, adaptable, uh, it can flow easily from one object to another, to another, to another easily. So it's flexible enough to be able to switch from one object to another object easily. Right? So you want to direct it there, it will direct there. You direct it to another place, you can switch very easily. Okay? And you can stay on with the object. If you want it to stay there, you can stay there. Right? Mm. So so it's very flexible. Mm. So if the mind doesn't have this quality, right? You find that when you not, no, when you try to switch from here to there, or you try to hold the attention in one place, the mind is always like resisting or you get stuck. Cannot move easily. Okay, uh, so uh, uh, so one example is when uh, we are not sitting touching. Okay, so when your mindfulness is not well developed yet, because sitting touching, you have to switch from uh, one object to another, right? And also, yeah, when you are in one touch point or the sitting and hold the attention there continuously, uh, even for a short period, hold the attention there continuously. yeah. But when the mindfulness is not well developed, you often find that you do the switch from noting of this object to another object. uh, it takes a lot of effort. It doesn't switch very easily. Yeah. Mhm. So, and when you want it to stay there, it also doesn't stay very easy. It keeps running away here, there, distracted. Okay? So, it doesn't have the flexibility, that flowy feeling. huh? So, but once you develop it, after some time, you keep noting, sitting, touching, sitting, touching. After some time, when you have developed the mindfulness sufficiently, and then you find that it switch very easily. uh, It's like almost effortless. You just switch. The mind is very light, very flexible. You just switch easily. And you want it to stay there, you can stay there. And you want it to switch, you can switch. uh, So it's very flexible. Okay? Mm, mm, And you can take on one object after another. Okay? Mm. So when the mind has this quality, softness, flexibility, and you feel the noting mind, it's like it flows. You feel the quality of flowing. It flows very easily without much trouble from one object to another. Okay, it has that soft flexibility. Okay? Mm. So we can respond to object very fast also. Mm. So one example I usually give to illustrate this is like, uh, um, so if you watch those martial art movies, they always depict the hero, a hero, one person uh, facing 10 opponents from every direction. So the opponent attack him from every direction. They land one blow after another. But because he's a skillful martial artist, He's able to respond very fast, one after another. He block here, block there, block to the left, block to the right, block to the back, block to the front, everywhere. He just respond very fast. Okay? Mm. So non-stop, he's so flexible. He doesn't even have to pause to think. He can respond very, very fast. Noting mind that is well developed is also like this. He's able to respond to one object after another, uh, very, very fast, quickly, uh, without getting stuck. It's able to flow one object to another, uh, very easily. It's flexible, it's adaptable. So this quality, softness, flexibility, adaptability. So this is another quality, that comes with mindfulness and a wholesome mind. Yeah? Mm. Now, due to the purity of mindfulness also, the mind is detached from the object. Okay? So it does not get involved with the object. Okay? It does not obsessively grasp at the object with desire or attachment, or aggressively reject the object out of aversion. Okay? So it doesn't get involved with the object. It's able to just let the object be as it is, and simply step aside and simply observe the object carefully, like a passive observer. Simply look on, without getting involved. Okay? Mm. So, mm. so this detachment from the object is also another quality that comes in mindfulness and the wholesome mind. So mindfulness is this pure awareness, pure wholesome awareness that comes with this quality, uh, the wholesome mind, quality of softness, of flexibility, adaptability, quality of peacefulness, calmness, composure, quality of detachment, okay? And also clarity. mm, It's clarity because it's pure. When it's pure, it's not disturbed, so the mind is clear. Okay. Mm, yeah. Regards to this quality of clarity, when you note uh, the object, you can only, although we keep telling the yogis, try to be as clear as possible. Okay. So, but you cannot force the clarity. Okay. So, you can only try to be as clear as possible whenever you know, tune your attention to the object, to feel the object as clearly as you can. Okay. Mm. But it may not be as clear as you would like it to be. It doesn't matter. Okay. Just keep noting. Just keep feeling the object as clearly as you can. If you keep feeling it continuously, eventually, when the mindfulness develops, then the mind will become clearer and clearer and clearer. Okay? So if it's not as clear as you would like it to be, don't force. You just keep uh, feeling the object as best as you can. Okay? Mm. Yeah, so mindfulness has this quality, softness, peacefulness, clarity, detachment. Mm. So each time when you note an object, okay, you will make sure your awareness, the noting mind has this quality. uh, It's clear, the mind is peaceful, it's calm, it's relaxed, it's soft, it's detached. Mm. So when it has these qualities, uh, you can be sure that mindfulness, some degree of mindfulness, is present. Okay? Then it's a matter of developing further the quality of mindfulness that is present. We stop here today. Okay. So, so, namaste.